We begin today with Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, who's joining us from Florida. Madam Secretary, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely, Ed. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, well, we have a lot to discuss, so we want to start with this because we've learned that Immigration and Customs Enforcement is planning on expanding operations in the coming days to Chicago. When are those operations expected to start? And you said in recent days that you're using the recent deployments in Los Angeles as a model. What does that mean?
Well, we've already had ongoing operations with ICE in Chicago and throughout Illinois and other states, making sure that we're upholding our laws. But we do intend to add more resources to those operations. I won't disclose the details because they are law enforcement and investigative folks that are on the ground there, and I want to make sure we keep their security our #1 priority. But we will continue to go after the worst of the worst across the country, like President Trump has told us to do, focusing on those that are perpetuating murder and rape and trafficking of drugs and humans across our country, knowing that every single citizen deserves to be safe.
Part of what distinguished
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with the ICE going after the worst of the worst, illegal migrants that commit crimes. I really don't disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see any issue with that.
Los Angeles operations, however, is that National Guard troops were there, in essence, protecting or backing up those federal agents as they conducted operations. Is that what we should expect to see in Chicago?
You know, that always is a prerogative of President Trump and his decision. I won't speak to the specifics of the operations that are planned in other cities, but I do know that LA wouldn't be standing today if President Trump hadn't taken action. Then that city would have burned down if left to the devices of the mayor and the governor of that state. And so the citizens who live there, the small business owners in downtown LA, they're thankful that President Trump came in with federal law enforcement officers and helped support keeping those streets open, keep their homes and businesses from burning down, and made sure the law and order was restored.
I just want to clarify one thing you said there. You said LA wouldn't be standing if not for these federal deployments?
So many of those homes and businesses that were in
Why he had to clarify that? It's like he said that for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So.
Downtown LA and in those areas, we're dealing with riots and violence, and coming in and bringing those federal law enforcement officers in was incredibly important to keeping peace. And so we are grateful that President Trump was willing to send resources and people in order to enforce the law. And Ed, since then, we have arrested 5,000 dangerous illegal criminals out of LA and removed them from our country and had them face justice for their crimes.
So as you know, we spoke with
Guys, I'm gonna get this out the way. Subscribe to my channel, put a like to my channel, and also comment down below. Comment down below.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker about all this, and I asked him what he'd say to you about these forthcoming plans. Let's play that and let you respond after. If she were to call you, what would you say? What's your message to her?
Well, I tell her that what she's doing is inflaming passions and causing disruption that doesn't need to be caused. We have people that have lived, yes, in the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago for decades, working here, paying taxes. They're law-abiding members of our communities, friends, neighbors. And why are we arresting them? Why are we making them disappear? Indeed, they're even disrupting the lives of people who are attempting to go through a legal process to stay in this country, who've been invited to a hearing, and then they're arresting them in the hallways on their way to that hearing. So this is dangerous. They shouldn't be doing it. It's anti-American. It's un-American. And I would tell her to maybe check herself for what does she really believe.
She's also critical of the fact that Chicago is one of those cities that doesn't cooperate with federal immigration operations.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy, man. This guy, he believes in anti-American to crack down on crime. He believes in an anti-American to deport illegal migrants. That's what he believes in.
And she was quoted as saying that Illinois, quote, refuses to have our back.
Well, that's not true. In fact, there were police officers who made sure that there was nobody interfering or attacking or causing problems for the ICE officials that were here. People have a right to express themselves. People have a right to their First Amendment, freedom to express. And we protect that too in the city of Chicago. So it's not true that nobody has their backs. What we won't do, however, is engage in what is a federal effort. That is to say, they have their job, immigration. We have our job, which is to fight violent crime on the streets of our city. And by the way, we're succeeding at that job. But when they bring people in and don't coordinate with us, they're going to cause enormous problems.
You think so? You think y'all is succeeding? Like having the crime rate down? You succeed in preventing crime for happening? I don't think so, man. Um, you know, and this is why you can't really believe these people, because talk to those people that live in Chicago. Talk to the people that talk about Chicago, how the crime rate is high, how people is killing each other every single day in Chicago. Last year, years after years ago, people have been talking about Chicago. Yo, a lot of people killing each other in Chicago. Don't go to Chicago, man. Chicago is dangerous. And for him to say that with a bold face, that they they is, you know, um preventing crimes to happen, that I don't believe that, man. I just don't believe that. I just kind of lost a train of thought, and that's why it took me so long to say that. Yeah. So I don't believe that.
Madam Secretary, your response?
Well, for 13 consecutive years, Chicago had more murders than any other American city. In fact, just last year in 2024,
Exactly.
they had 3 times the amount of murders that LA did, 5 times more than New York City. So he can talk about what a great job he's doing as governor, but he's failing those families who will no longer have their child with them, their mother or their father or their cousin, aunt, and uncle. That are gone forever because of the violence that's happening in Chicago. So I was a governor for many years. So I recognize the responsibilities that you have on your shoulder when you're a governor. And
Yeah, she
I'll
was.
tell
I
you,
forgot she was a
as a
governor, I think,
governor,
for
when I had to make tough decisions and when I had
South
disagreements with
Dakota,
the
something
Biden
like that.
administration or challenges my people
some
were
state like
facing,
that.
I called up the Biden administration. I went and talked to them. I asked for meetings. I fought for my people. This seems like it's more about Governor Pritzker's ego now rather than actually protecting his people. If he has one murder in the city of Chicago, he should be calling President Trump and saying, what's your ideas? What can we do? They don't even honor our detainers in Chicago.
That's the problem.
They don't go out there and work with us to make sure we're bringing people to justice. And
It's like they want this crime to happen. They still want this crime to happen, man. They want people to kill each other. They want black people to kill each other. Like, come on, man. Let's really talk about this. It's true. I don't understand how can you say that? Y'all are doing something about this crime. Look at Brandon Johnson. He just signed the executive order to prevent Donald Trump to send in the National Guard. They would go against that. Like, is you kidding me? I think it happened yesterday or 2 days ago. If I'm not mistaken, guys, comment down below. Like, come on. It's like they want this crime to happen, still happen. Y'all guys don't want help. Y'all don't want help to prevent the crime. Like, y'all don't want help to stop this crime from happening. Y'all just
he goes on TV and he attacks me when we're doing exactly what those people need is they need someone to help them get the dangerous criminals off their streets. And if he has 1, 2, 5, or 10, those victims and their families deserve to walk in freedom on those streets and not have to worry about what's going to happen to them on their way to their jobs.
Are you planning beyond
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys, for pausing. Look at Washington, D.C. President Trump sent in the National Guard, and look what happened. The crime rate is down. Even the D.C. mayor, you know, praised Donald Trump. She had her own press conference or whatever, and she got a lot of backlash about that too. So come on, they don't want to do this because they don't want to because they hate Trump.
Chicago to expand these kinds of operations to other cities? There have been reports, for example, that Boston may very well soon be next.
I think there's a lot of cities that are dealing with crime and violence right now, and so we haven't taken anything off the table. We've been making sure that we have the resources and the equipment to go in. We've been working to partner with every single agency that we can. We have hundreds and hundreds of agreements with local law enforcement, sheriffs, city administrators and mayors across the country that want to solve problems. I'd encourage every single big city, San Francisco, Boston, Chicago, whatever they are, if they want to help make their cities safer, more prosperous, allow people the opportunity to walk in freedom like the people of Washington, D.C. are now, and enjoying going out to eat at night and not having to worry if they're going to be a victim of a carjacking or a robbery, they should call us.
You mentioned there are a bunch of cities in Democratic-controlled states with Democratic mayors, and there have been a lot of questions asked about that focus. There are Republican cities with major crime issues as well, and we haven't heard about plans to deploy, say, to Dallas or to Oklahoma City or to cities in Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi that have considerable crime rates, in some cases higher percentage-wise than those other cities you mentioned. Are there plans to go to red states and Republican-controlled cities in this kind of way?
Absolutely. Every single city is evaluated for what we need to do there to make it safer. So we've got operations that, again, I won't talk about details on, but we absolutely are not looking through the viewpoint at anything we're doing with a political lens.
One of the most high-profile.
But look at the difference, though. The minute that they sent in the national or help the Republican states, it's not going to be no backlash about that. They're going to like they're not gonna have no backlash. They're not gonna say, okay, I don't want no help from Donald Trump. Okay? They're not gonna fight against Donald Trump about that. They're gonna have a whole bunch of welcome about that. They're gonna say, yeah, we want help. We do acknowledge the crime rate in our state. We do need help. So that's the difference between the Republican states and the Democrat states. The Democrat states they're gonna fight against that, knowing that they know the crime rate is high. That's the difference.
Examples of someone who's been rounded up by ICE in recent months is Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and the fate of his situation is still up in the air. He's awaiting trial on human smuggling charges set for January in Tennessee. But your department's also working to get him deported to Uganda. If he broke the law in this country, as the administration alleges, shouldn't he be held here and face charges here instead of being deported?
Well, prosecution decisions are always made by the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi's department, so we will let them do that. Although this individual does have criminal charges pending, he has charges pending against him civilly as well. And the one thing that we will continue to do is to make sure that he doesn't walk free in the United States of America.
But I heard you say that we're going to let the Justice Department do that. Does that mean the push to deport him to Uganda is off?
Oh, we will still continue to pursue all options.
Okay.
We will make sure that he's not released into this country. So regardless of that, yes, absolutely. He's not an American citizen and he shouldn't be here. And especially because of his dangerous criminal activities, we should ensure that we leave every avenue on the table.
Got it. So,
Yeah, man. So basically, this guy, I know this guy committed crimes, or you know what I'm saying, he committed crimes and he came back into this country illegally. So the Trump administration they want to send him back. They want to deport this guy back out this country. So, guys, comment down below and just let me know what you think about this whole video, and also subscribe to my channel and put a like to my channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace.